So right now we're headed to the haunted Oakland Cemetery in Atlanta, Georgia. Let's go. So today we're in the Oakland Cemetery in downtown Atlanta. It's said that this is the final resting place of over 70,000 people. Okay, let me think of what to say next. Shot of him, he's cool. It makes you think about how you'll be buried when you die.
I want to be cremated actually, so.
Get out.
Okay, I'm out.
So there's a lot of symbolism in this graveyard. A lot of people are buried in symbolic beds because death is not scary. It's just you going to sleep. You know, some people have sleep paralysis demons. Sleeping can be scary for some people. But look, you know, there's beds.
At rest.
Another example of the sleeping symbolism is pillows and blankets being carved in the headstone. So you can see here that this is actually a blanket.
You want to say something about this?
Cause you know I like my bed and my mama. Yeah. You can be buried with both, I guess. This cemetery is also known for it being the final resting place of a lot of celebrities. So we're gonna try and find them. So another symbol that this graveyard has is chopped logs, which can symbolize their life being cut a little too short.
That person was only 17.
So another symbol. The space in between two pillars means that you might be able to cross over easier.
Cross over what?
To the
To
other
the
side.
Like,
That's a cool headstone. It's like a tree. I think you can be buried as a tree now, though.
you see, that's what I'm talking about.
Is that it, right?
Oh my
Air
God.
conditioning.
How much do you have to
Just
pay
in
for an
case
air
they wake
conditioned grade?
Actually, fun fact, the first person who was buried here in the cemetery was a doctor. And he was so paranoid that he would get buried alive, he had them cut his jugular artery just to make sure he would not wake up. Moving on. He was the first person buried in the cemetery, but actually, before the cemetery was here, there was one person who was buried here, and they built the cemetery around them.
Kind of a trendsetter.
An influencer. I will say, for such a massive amount of people buried here, I'm not getting any spooky vibes.
Many people claim that cemeteries are less haunted because it's a resting place where ghosts can find solace and peace.
It doesn't give me any spooky vibes whatsoever, but they do say that they've been doing more weddings here than funerals, so I can see why.
El Riz chat.
Get up off your knee. Come on, let's go. Nice. Where's Kenny?
I think Kenny's down this way.
So do you want to talk about Kenny?
Atlanta is actually known as the city in the trees because of how much nature is still present within the city. And it was actually a conscious effort by city officials to keep nature a part of the landscape here. And so having a massive cemetery here in the middle of what would otherwise be considered a metropolitan area is something that Atlanta natives like to enjoy. This was erected during the election of 2024 when Kamala Harris lost to Donald Trump. Rest in peace.
The strip club across the street's bumping right now. That's where everyone's at.
6 feet under, that's a good one.
You go across the street to drink all your sorrows away. If you're a ghost. So we have celebrities like Kenny Rogers, Martha Mitchell, who wrote Gone with the Wind. Did you see something?
I'm just getting this weird energy. I feel like I'm possessed or something. Anyways.
You know, you're gonna have to take your job seriously. Let's get some shots at 6 feet under. No wind to hold on. No wind to walk away.
Very beautiful. So, I mean, if I were a legendary musician, I would personally not want to be buried right next to all the Confederate soldiers who died betraying their country, but that's just me.
The Great Railroad Chase, that's what it was called?
Yeah.
There's a little something called, let's get educated. All right. The Great Railroad Chase. The Great Railroad Chase was when a bunch of Union soldiers took over a train, but they got caught by the Confederate soldiers and unfortunately were
Unalive.
in this area. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of Confederate soldiers buried here. I definitely feel weird over here. I need a second opinion.
I get this feeling that
It was like here. I started feeling weird.
I get this feeling that, like, you know, whenever you walk into a dive bar and you get people looking at you like you're not a regular, that's how I feel here.
So, fun fact, the person who founded the first African American orphanage in Atlanta is actually buried here. I will say, I kind of understand why we saw a lot of people walking their dogs and taking a walk here, because it does have a peaceful vibe and it's really well kept. I would definitely recommend this place for a first date.
I don't know who this is. She just told me they'd bring a camera to our date.
I met him today. Did you get any spooky vibes?
Definitely by the Confederate area.
Okay, yeah.
I don't think they would like that I voted for Kamala Harris. What was that?
It was a squirrel, probably. Should we come here at night and try to investigate?
No, we might get mugged.
That's another part about being in Atlanta is I don't know who is mentally sane or who is deranged.
I'm mentally sane.
I met this guy today, so. All right. Job well done.